Good morning, and today's going to be Pocket Aces. Short-handed, 5 players. This is a 50 L game. Yeah, folds to me. I open raise. I think that's going to be pretty standard. Short-handed game. This is like early position or cutoff. Raise first instat. We're not doing this. Not in a 5-handed game. I think we're going to be a bit more like big card heavy. Probably play like the King 8 suited. Maybe something like that. I'm not sure if I'd have the Queen 8. Just kind of depends on how things are going. And right now it looks like it's going pretty good. In this case, I've got 200 big blinds. So I think we're gonna narrow our range to something like this. And again, I'm not a shorthand player. I don't really care for it. So we'll go with that. We do get a caller from the big blind. He's playing 23-0, and at this point, I kind of think about in a short-handed game, what do players call with? I think they call with hands like this: pocket pair, Broadway, suited aces. Maybe some suited connectors. Definitely, they're looking at fact that players usually do open up looser or more loosely. We don't have a 3-bet on him, but I think if we were going to 3-bet, it would be something like this: Queens plus Ace King. We do have some notes with him where he calls 2-bet from the blind range with King Queen suited, Queen 10 off, 10-7 off, 3-2 off. 10-7 and 3-2 I think are odd. And really, if we're going to include those, then we're going to have to include a lot more hands, and it's going to mean that he's not going to be playing this 23% anymore. Even in the big blind, it's 0 out of 3, small blinds 1 out of 4. So at some point, we've had more hands on him, but in the last 3 months, we don't really have a huge number. And I guess I could fix this. I could change this to like the last 6 months of play. And we'll probably get a better idea of how he does play. In any case, I think we're going to go with hit this range like this. So this range is going to be somewhat similar to ours, a little bit narrower, but it's going to lack the big cards. All right, so flop comes down, Queen Jack 7. Not too bad. Hands to be concerned with, obviously Queen Jack. I think that's the key. That is the one hand to be concerned with. I kind of think queens will probably 3-bet, so less likely he has that. Jacks are a possibility, 7s are a possibility, but I also think about all the hands that kind of connect that are going to be calling at least once, maybe twice. So I think all the Queen X are going to be calling. I think all of the Jack X are going to be calling. You've got King, like the King 10 are probably going to, the open enders King 10 are going to be calling, 10-9 are going to call, probably 9-8, probably 9-8. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of hands that call. So assuming he checks, which he does, I think we're going to be betting on the larger side, because there's going to be hands that call and continue. Now, would it be better if there was a potential flush draw on the board? It's going to give more hands for him to call, but still, I think it's still pretty good situation here. So I think we should be betting larger. I think we're going. Let's see here, probably those. Let's take that out. Yeah, good top pair plus. Open ender. I think our gut shots could be played that way. I even think some of these low pocket pairs could be played like that as well. Maybe all of them. That gets us to 33. Probably not like ace king. Maybe if he had 2-card backdoor flush draw. I think we can add like some of these suited aces in there, especially like ace 8, ace 9. You know, we're blocking some of those straight draws. Obviously king 10, maybe like king 9's gut shot in there. 5-6 would be bluff. 8-6, 9-8s are gut shots. Those are all backdoor flush draws as well. Maybe something like that. Betting 58%. Probably not going to be betting 100%, but I still think we're looking pretty good here. I think that, and I think I'd go on the larger side of things. So I bet half pot. I think we need to go larger on this. And villain call. So we're gonna just kind of set up all of his calls. Set and 2 pair. Would they be? You know, are we gonna see a check raise? Possibly. We'll set that at 50%. There we go. Oops. I think top pair calls, probably middle pair calls, open ender gut shots. I think call. I'm not sure if those call. Probably not. Probably not. I think they probably just fold. So we'll go with that. You can see, like, we're betting on these top pair, second pair type hands, and I think betting larger is gonna help us get more money in there. All right, 7 comes out, and that's actually a really good hand because any of those 2 pairs now get counterfeited, and it's just really good. So he checks, so it's on us. What do we do? I do think we continue betting. We've got our overpair that bets. 2 pair, I think we continue betting. Top pair, I think we continue betting. That's 44%. And then I think we continue with like our open ender gut shot. I think everything else gets checked. So we're about 1-to-1 in terms of bet to value. Close. I think some of these hands. We lose some. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So we would probably bet that again. Notice we go from like 60 to 72. I think that's reasonable. Now we did 2/3 pot. I probably think we're still probably going to be going 2/3. Maybe back down to a half. So I bumped it up. I went half, and now I'm doing 2/3, and he calls. So in terms of his call, I think top pair does call. Not sure about middle pair. I think open ender calls definitely. I think the gut shot just kind of gives up. I don't, in terms of check raises. Maybe the full house check raises this now. Goes for a little bit more value, but 2 pair, I think they just check and call. All right, so we see river, king of hearts, straight gets there, and what does he do? He checks to us. So the question is, what do we do? Do we bet again? Question: if we bet, what calls? Would a queen call again? It's possible that they will not call. Now that a king comes out, A lot of ways to make two pairs now with the Broadway hands. Especially with a pair on the board. So if it goes top pair plus, king X plus, he calls, and we beat all of those. So I think that this is probably going to be a bit of value. So once he checks, and if he calls with these, it's even better. But right now, we beat all of these hands. So when he calls, we're beating 80% of hands, and I think that argues for a little bit of value with our hand. So he checks and we check behind, and I think I missed. Now, how much should we go for value? We did half pot, then we bumped up to 2/3. I think we backed down to half or less. 30, we could probably go to about 10 or so, maybe 15. 15, I think, because I think the top pair and the good two pair are probably going to call, half pot bet. We might even go a little bit larger. But I think we missed some value here. I think we definitely missed some value. So he shows Queen 10, which was in his range, and I think that is one of those cards that probably call twice. I'm not sure if he calls a third, especially when that king comes. But we're going to go ahead and take this. Take a note. So I think I raised it. Yep, to 3 big blinds. So I called cutoff 3 big blind RFI in big blind with Queen 10. Out of position, check called 50%, check called 66% maybe. 3, 6, 9, 12, yeah, 66%. And then checked on a Queen of Clubs, Jack of Hearts, 7 of Spades, 7 of Diamonds, King of Hearts. Let's get that in there. I believe that was a King of Hearts. Saved. So I say let's check this out on GTO. I'm going to keep this out of position player's range. I think that's a decent range to go against. I think it's a range that big blinds would likely have. Alright, so let's just slide that over. So we got Queen of Clubs, Jack of Hearts, 7 of Spades. We're going to build the tree. Let's go to flop 650. Effective stack is 80, we'll go 83. Advanced, I guess we'll set up 50%. Alright, import tree, definitely checks it. I assume he's always going to check it, so now it's on us. I like the bigger size. Don't think that the smaller size is going to go for it, so we'll accept changes. We will run the simulation and we'll be back. All right, finished up, program the check. It's on us. Looks like we are going large or small. 50% doesn't seem to match. Yeah, we're going larger or smaller. And it looks like it's split evenly between the larger size and smaller size. Let's see if there's any, not seeing any like trend, just about even. Larger, smaller. Definitely the half is not really there. It's very small percentage. So either the large or the small, and I think the small could work too. I mean, villain could have connected with 2 pair. Betting smaller encourages weaker calls, more calls with gut shots and so forth. So you can kind of see if we go smaller, he's calling at 62%. We bet larger, he's calling 47%. The smaller should obviously be weaker. We've got, let's say here, 7-6, 8-7, 9-8. Those are still there, but you're seeing the folds at like the 9-8. Pocket pairs, the 9s and the 8s are calls with the smaller bet size, but they're folds with the larger bet size. Even 10s are folds at the larger bet size. So, yeah, probably go smaller. So if you go smaller, he's going to call. Queen 10 is a call. We've got 7 of diamonds, I believe. Yep, 7 of diamonds. He checks. Now it's on us. Now we're betting. So of course, yeah, you can see we are betting most of our hands here. 54%. Some hands were not, like the ace 10, ace jacks becoming check. The jacks are becoming checks. Kind of expected that as well. So we bet 50%. He calls. King of hearts, he checks us, and this was our bet, and we should have bet. So let's go ahead and modify this again. Let's take this out. So we should have gone slightly smaller. Let's go to the 50%. We'll run the solver and we'll be back. All right, got this done. So we did bet. We're at 37%. I think we were betting larger. We were betting a few more top pair hands. But we had king queen as we were betting. So we had 19 and like 38. So a little more than. It was about 60%. So this is about half or so because we're going half pot. Slightly tighter in our bets. A few more checks with the middle and weaker pair. Since we're not betting huge value. So when you add like the ace queen off, the king queen off, that's going to add more combos to our hands, which means we need more combos to balance that. So once you drop that, we lose having to bet some of those weaker pairs, and we still have some of those bets. But we bet, he calls. So we've got that. He checks, and now it's on us. What do we bet? So we bet 37. Now we're betting up 61%. So we kind of narrowed our betting range on the flop. So we eliminated weaker hands, and now that means we're going to have a stronger range on the turn. So we go half pot bet here. And what we're going to do is we're going to check the bet, the value bet. Yeah, we should do this. So what we're going to do is go to our flop here. So we are going to say we're going to keep this range that we worked through. That is our in position range. Out of position range. We're going to go with that. This is call. Done. All right, we are going to rebuild the tree. We're going to import it. We're going to run check. We're going to, hold on. We're going to have to rebuild it because what we want is this. We want to know our turn decision. So we're going to say starting pot is 13. Effective stack is 79. There we go. Oops, 79. Let's go ahead and build that tree. Import it. Let's change these to check. So we get right to the turn. We're going to have him check there. And now let's check our bet sizing. So we got 50%. We already bet 50%. So should we go up? Should we go 50%? Should we go down a little bit? I think this will be okay. We'll accept the changes, confirm, we'll run the solver, and we'll be back. All right. Check, check. Gets us there. All right, so this is our decision. Definitely go larger. Go to the larger size. So we were correct in that. Sizing up. Betting about 54% of the time. Based on our hand, I think that was about right. So that was 56 to here 72. So we actually were betting more. So not all the gut shots are bets. Let's see your top pairs. Not all the top pairs are bets. So I had all of them. So that kind of makes sense. And again, like the king queens are not. I guess we use those as calls. So he bets into us, we call. Yeah, balance. I think that just must be what's going on. Because I can't imagine with a queen we're blocking ace queen already. Once we have a queen. So unless it's just we don't have enough semi bluffs to balance that. So in any case, yeah, we bet he calls, he checks, and then we should still be value betting. So I think the same. I think it's playing out that once we get to the river, we missed our value bet. Could be 3 streets easy. Are we gonna get called? Maybe, but we don't know until we make that play. So we already won. Maybe 15 big blinds more. I don't know if it says how much we get. We get the rake, but in terms of what we put in and what we get back, say we have 15 big blinds, we could have made another 15 big blinds, and that adds up. So definitely missed the value bet. Got to remember, even when a board gets kind of scary like that, that pair on the board really helps us. And I bet things change if we modify this. Let's put it like a 6 of diamonds on there. Yeah, we still have the bet. Oops, he calls. He checks. Now we can have a check behind. So that pair on the board made a pretty big difference. And I think having the jack pair is probably also not that good. So yeah, if the jack, I don't know, I bet if the queen pairs were really slowing down, too likely the villain's going to have trips now at this point. So hopefully you enjoy the hand. Kind of reviewed quite a bit. Value bet, go for it. That pair on the board helps protect us, helps box all. Basically counterfeits any other 2-pair hand. Counterfeits a king queens, queen jacks, king jacks, type hands that people are kind of get excited about and say, wow, you've got 2-pair, and especially if they have queen jack, they're thinking, hey, I beat all the ace queen and king queen hands. They're gonna slow down when that king comes, but I still think they're probably gonna call. So hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, you can look tomorrow for another.